slow, feel slow. One, two, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. We're back. Okay, we're back and streaming with a green light on OBS. Output. Let's bust that back up to 6,000. We're back. What the heck's going on, guys? This is like, I never have issues with this, so massive apologies. Yeah, massive apologies. This is some peak stuff. Never get this happen, but apologies. We're currently tethering from Sinewave's phone here because my internet is still down, which is never happens.
Yeah, back up.
Yeah, back up. Back up.
Perfect.
Sheesh. Yeah, so that's working. So we'll just roll like that for a bit, and if my internet comes back on Wi-Fi, then we can always switch back over. Yeah, it still says no internet access. Let me see if I can call him. I'm just going to call him real quick, innit? Because they're always on the end of the phone. Just real quick, like while I'm desoldering this. U-Fiber. Support. See if I can call him. Call him up and see what's going on. Yeah, donations broke my Wi-Fi, that's what it is.
Yeah,
the $100 couldn't fit through them through the fiber, it's too thin. Accept all. Contact. And now my camera's gone. What's going on? What is with today's stream? Seriously, what is this? Can we help you? Phone service. Nope. Internet service. Technical support. My internet is down. Help. Call U-Fiber UK. Right, here we go. I'm just going to turn this camera on actually for a sec because that other camera's dead. Nope, they just hung up.
Typical.
Try to get a different number.
Oh, what, they pick up this time?
No, it says they're currently closed. I'm pretty sure they do pick up in the night time though. I've called them in the night time before.
I mean, it's working in it, so it's not.
Now this camera's decided to not want to work. Oh guys,
Just bring that one where you
technical issues this evening. I ain't gonna reach with the wire.
I swear.
Yeah, technical issues this evening. First bloody Wi-Fi's gone down. Now my Canon camera is not working again. Come on, right, let's get this back. On. So this is flashing this battery logo.
What is in charge when you're using it?
Yeah. Oh wait, hang on a minute. Ah, that's why. I just realised I'm a stupid idiot.
You've
I
got
had the battery plugged in and not the mains powered one. Because
Oh.
you remember I put the battery in it
Yeah,
earlier
yeah.
to do videos with. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. So now that's coming on. All right, we back. We so back. Okay. Jesus. Right, let's remove this freaking TL712, shall we? It's definitely heated up enough now. Okay. Adrian, thank you so much for the 5, my dude. Holy shit. All your stuff is going to end up breaking today. I know. I guarantee you that we don't get any amps fixed today either. It's going to be one of them streams, isn't it? It's going to be one of them streams. But we're all here for the lols. Do you have a 20,000 amp for sale? No, but I will have a 15,000 amplifier. Actually, well, it's 15,000 watts RMS at 12 volts, 1 ohm, and it's about 18k at 14 volts. That might be enough for you. I'll have one of those for sale soon. So we've got a guest in the studio, we've got a guest in the workshop today. Everyone who doesn't already know my big man over here, meet Sinewave 02. He's making subwoofer car audio content on his own YouTube channel, and also predominantly on his TikTok account, which is basically where he kind of got into this stuff. So actually, yeah, let's do a bit of Q&A, dude. So do you remember the first ever video that you uploaded to TikTok? What it was? What spurred you to do that?
I shoved the...
Can I put you on the big?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. He's on that big screen. We're going to zoom in a little bit.
No, keep it like that. Yeah.
No, because we got me on one screen, you on the other screen.
Yeah, go on.
So basically, for those of you who've been following my channel for years, you'll know that I started out YouTube just by posting like random subwoofer excursion videos and just like vlogs of my bedroom system and stuff like that. And lots of people do that. And I think that's how you started out, Donnell,
Yeah.
with doing it. So tell me about the first video that you ever put up on TikTok, and what you remember.
It was an XT8 in a Logitech box.
An XT.
And, yeah, so I didn't know about InPhase at the time.
Were they making XT8s that far back?
Yeah.
I didn't realise that.
It goes all the way back to even
with the carbon shape, with the carbon
It
cone.
used to be Mark 1s. It never used to look like them. And then
How did they used to look?
it was just like it's plain like black cone, just like a weird.
Did it have like a shiny motor?
Yeah, the chrome
Right,
ones. You might remember them.
yeah. They I think they were very different. Was it me, or were they kind of whack, or were they alright?
I've never heard them, bro. Honestly, never heard them. But yeah, I put a lot in an XT and Logitech box, and then yeah, just went from there.
So that got you. You did that on TikTok, and did that get some decent views straight away?
Yeah.
So you didn't have to like build up like.
Oh no, I obviously had to build it up.
But that got. What did it just get like a couple hundred views, or was it getting
it started
thousands?
off 10 views, and I got happy to get 60.
Yeah.
100, and then so on and so forth, and then the company of that got in contact, and then they kept giving me different subs, and then I kept making videos that way.
Nice.
And yeah, that's how we got to.
That's how you end up with 2 Carnages in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Honestly, this guy currently has more bass than I ever had at my place when I was making videos. He has. Have you showed what you've metered in your room, or you haven't showed it?
Not publicly.
No, you haven't showed. No. This guy meters in his room more than a lot of people meter in their car. In a room. I don't know if any one of you have ever heard like, greater than 135 dBs in a room or in a venue or in open space. It is a wild experience. It sounds stupidly loud, not in a car. 135 dBs in a car sounds like, yeah, this is really bassy, it sounds nice, you've got a sub hooked up. But in a room or in an open space, 135 dBs of bass is like, what the f? It's like ridiculous. But he's not doing 135, by the way, he's doing a lot more than 135. But just as an example, 135 still sounds loud in the room.
Yeah. Connor's been around as well, he's heard it.
Yeah, I haven't heard it full tilt. You only played it low volume for me. Because people were sleeping in that.
But it's a different experience because it's a low frequency. It's not like 40 or 50 hertz.
No.
It's a different experience.
So just real quick, yeah, we're taking out a bunch of parts of this Taramps HD10K in order for me to transplant them into a HD15K. So what these transistors do I need? The HD15K, so you can see, guys, actually look, have a look at the difference between the HD10K and the HD15K. So this one right on the bench here is a HD10K, okay? This one right here is the HD15K. So you can see it's pretty much the same circuit, but the transformer is like a decent size bigger. It's like much bigger. The output inductors actually look fairly similar, but there's more winds actually. There's more turns on the output inductor of the 15K compared to the 10K. The rail capacitors are a different voltage. On the 10K, the rail caps are 250 volts, whereas these ones these are 350 volts. So you got another 100 volts worth of headroom in the rail caps on the 15K, which is crazy. Damin, dude, thanks for the 5, my man. That's awesome. Thank you so much, buddy. I hope you're doing well. You sent me a voice clip earlier, didn't you? Actually, I hadn't got around to listening to that. Damin, so basically, Damin in the live chat right now, he's the guy that I repaired a Taramps Smart 5 for. I actually repaired it twice because the first time there's something still not quite right with it. And it blew quite badly, but I fixed it again, second time, and it seems to be alright. Damin, do you feel comfortable with me listening to your voice chat, to your voice note on live? Because if you feel comfortable with that, then I'll have a quick listen to it now, and we can all see how your amp's getting on. Because I sent you a message earlier because I was just curious, and I was like, you know, when as a repair tech you pour your heart and soul into a repair, and it's a big job, and you fix a bunch of stuff and you find a bunch of problems, it's always nice to check up with the customer like a couple of months down the line, just see how's the amp doing, is it still playing good? Because if it's still playing good, then that's like a confidence boost, isn't it, to the technician? You're like, yeah, fuck, awesome. Does Proven still get the 1506? I think Proven is still bringing in stuff, but he doesn't hold much stock now, so you can still make an order with Proven, but it's going to cost you a fair bit because honestly the profit margins are dead. So Proven won't really charge you much on top of what he's paying, but the prices are still just ridiculously expensive now. So let's have a quick listen then, guys. What's Damin got to say about his Smart 5 that I repaired? Let's have a quick listen, see what he has to say.
How's it going, Sam? Yes, the Smart 5 is holding up very well, thank you.
Nice.
I've been using it as my daily. What was the other one that I bought? The B2 Riot, the 16K.
Yeah, I've been using the Smart 5 as the daily.
Is like a future investment for me. I see that as a future investment just because it just demands so much to make so much. And the Smart 5, it's really performing super well at 0.5 ohms, and I have like 3 gel batteries. So
okay.
One up front and one on
three AGMs on a 5K.
Those telecom batteries.
I wonder what the alternator is. If it's 150 amp, that's fine.
Off the Mini.
Is that a South African accent?
I mean, it ruins your foot space at the back, but gives you plenty of power. And it's holding up well, and Donnell helped me out with one of the Extincts. Sorry, not the Extincts, the Extincts.
You get the Extinct,
One
yeah.
of my Extincts that I got from them just under a year ago had failed, just like within less than a minute of playing it. One of the 2 coils failed.
What did it like come off the corner or burn or?
Just didn't read the same.
So he's
Oh,
helping
really?
me out with that. He's getting it replaced, which is very kind of him. Yeah. All good this side, man. Thanks
Nice.
for checking in. There's another long voice message.
That's,
How are you doing, bro?
yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I'm glad your Smart 5 is doing well, because that was like a lot of damage it did. That second time it failed, I suspect it probably was like a tiny invisible short on the output inductor to the main board, and that damage that it caused was hectic. There was like that hole in the board on that on that sundown that we did on the stream last stream I think it was, where there was like a big blown trace and I had to jump over there was loads of that in this Smart 5, but like on a smaller scale, so I had to do like some next mad jump wires, and it was like it was like really janky, but I got it working again, so it's really cool to see that that's still playing. Thanks very much for confirming, Damien. I hope you're good, and yeah, enjoy. And that B2 Right, what is that? B2 Right 16K future investment. Yeah, I'll tell you what's going to be a future investment is the repair bill on that when it fails, because it's going to fail, it's going to blow, and it's going to be an expensive repair. So just factor in that when you're using it. So anyway, like I was saying, this is the 15K, the HD15K, and I'm just kind of looking at what transistors I need for this. We need both of the auxiliary supply transistors, which are hidden down here. So I'm just going to steal those from my HD10K here, and then we can get those dropped into our 15K.
What Beastman said, yeah, must have been a factory fault.
Must have been a factory fault, yeah. Yeah. That happens, man. Like when you've got factory busting out the amount of subs that they do, man, some stuff's gonna happen. User learning amplifier repair is something that, man, someone's busting up the heart. Have you see this? It's just you know the little heart sign.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's somebody tapping it, or people tapping
I think
it.
it's real time.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've never really seen that before. Thanks to whoever is busting up that heart. Anyway. Learning amplifier repair is something that has been on my list for 10 years, but I haven't got around to it. Just like learning a second language and making excuses, but it's time to do it, bro. Happy place. Yeah, awesome. Definitely jump on it. You're doing it at the right time, because I am, within the next 3 or 4 months, going to be dropping probably it's either going to be a Patreon or it's going to be a YouTube membership thing, where I basically release a full amplifier repair guide, fully chaptered with extremely detailed walkthroughs, rundowns of every type of circuit, every type of common failure, and methodology that you'll need to start repairing amplifiers, not only for yourself but also if you wanted to turn it into a business as well. That's a project that I'm going to be working on over the next few months, and I'm pretty excited to offer it to you guys. I think what you should think about it is think about it as a video version of Perry's guide.
Only amps.
Only amps. That's actually a good name for it. Yeah, maybe I'll call it only amps. Dude, this has got some next thermal mass. What's going on? I've been heating this for like 5 minutes straight. I'll turn the heat up a little bit. This is a big ground trace though, so it's to be expected. Doing only amps, like Beastbury says, only amps. Well, only FETs. Only FETs. Well, what sounds better? Only amps, only FETs.
But FETs, then it's just one transistors in them.
Yeah, true. Only
amps covers it all.
Only stank. Only fucking burnt traces, bro.
Yeah, it's only amps.
Only amps.
Yeah, I think we'll go with that one.
With the logo to match. Only trans. No. I'm pretty sure that already exists.
Yeah.
I guarantee. If you Google that, I'm guaranteed that already exists. Oh mate, I might have to do this with the iron actually to get some heat into this ground trace here.
We've got the big boy one. Where is it?
No, I can use the small iron, but yeah, the iron will get more heat into the actual board. Whereas this I'm pretty sure that this board is just heat sinking away the hot air.
Fair enough.
So let's hit it with the iron first for a bit. Is your TikTok live still going?
No.
You should bang that on.
I need to sign into this phone, so excuse me while I get the login.
Pure Sesh can confirm only trans does indeed exist. Wait, is that, did man Google that, or is that prior knowledge? You know what I'm saying? Is that prior experience, or did you Google that?
Right. Let me just log into this and then spare me.
You know what? This ain't working. Is there another one? There's another couple over here. Yeah, let's maybe I'll drop them out from this side over here. These might be a little bit lower thermal mass. You know what I'm saying? So let's get this preheated a little bit on this large ground trace here. He's definitely known about that for a while, says Beast Boost. Oh, my data has my stream has dropped off a little bit just now.
Did it?
Yeah, maybe it's because it moved slightly.
I need to read the code. That's what.
If the stream is buffering, guys, apologies. We're just trying to sort out something here. Steve comes in with a sensible suggestion, a very sensible Steve suggestion for NSV amplifier repair guide. I like it. Simple, to the point, has my business name in it. Yeah. I don't know. Let's get a poll going, guys. So for my paid amplifier repair guide, we can do. I'm going to change this to live chat rather than top chat. Start poll. Amp repair guide name. Only amps. NSV repair guide. Or any other suggestions? Any other suggestions? Or how about Sam's guide? Sam's guide.
I like Sam's.
Because you got Perry's guide.
Sam's guide's pretty hard. I like that.
Sam's guide. I guarantee it's going to be Only Amps is the one that wins. It's going to be because it's the meme one, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
So we're going to be a BCP 53 and a BCP 56. I'm pretty sure these are.
We're in.
You're in.
Yeah. Swap friends.
Sweet. Look, Only Amps is on 69%. Oh, it changed. Only Amps was on 69%.
Yeah.
That's jokes. Someone get it back to 69. Well, 65. That was hilarious. I changed the camera just after it swapped, I think. Yeah, Adrian, I noticed that as well. Sam's cookbook. Cooking Fets with Sam. Come on, right, let's get this out of here. Let's get this out of here. Get that nice. Oh, there we go. Cooked up already. That was quick, that one. Much faster. Evening, Rob. Evening, Rob. How's it going, buddy? There was a Sam's Photofax for TV repair for years. Oh, joke. Sam's a pretty common name, though, to be fair. Although, actually, Only Amps is only at 59%. You got Sam's guide coming in at 25. NSV repair guide is that's dead. That's dead.
I don't know. I think with Only Amps it will just. I don't know. It will be more. People will watch it because of what it's called.
Yeah, people will be like, "Hi there, this is jokes. What's this? What's this? Only Amps." Would I have to reference that it's called Only Amps in the guide? Like, just occasionally cut to, like, I don't know, some circuit board in like a G-string or something. You know what I'm saying? That'd be so funny. Is there a website to organise group orders from DigiKey? Good question. I have no idea. I don't actually order from DigiKey because DigiKey. DigiKey, the shipping costs are really expensive for the UK, so I don't really order from there. Yeah, we're back down to 56% on the only amps. You got to think as well, like, who are the type of people that are going to buy this amplifier repair guide? Is it going to be like young guys that are going to get a cheeky giggle out of the name, or is it going to be, you know, kind of older guys or people that, you know, are wanting to make a business out of this?
Alright. Need to learn.
Right, now I actually need to take a reference on this. So basically, the transistors that, look, guys, we're getting serious now. We're going to talk about some amp repair things, alright? So basically, the transistors that I'm replacing in this HD15K, these are responsible for generating the auxiliary supply voltages, plus minus 15 volts. Now, Taramps have done this slightly differently, especially with their older HD series. Most Brazilian amplifiers generate the auxiliary rails using a boost converter, beast booster like this, is using a boost converter from the 12 volts 12 volts input supply from the power supply. However, the older Taramps actually use an auxiliary tap from the transformer here to then gets rectified here, and then with some Zener diodes use some transformers to generate the auxiliary voltages. So basically I've got an NPN and a PNP transistor here, and I just need to remember which one goes where. So we're just going to quickly take a quicker reference from our HD10K down here. That is all working good, and you can see here we have the same circuit in the HD10K. So we have that one's negative there, and that one's positive. Okay, so we have the if I can just scratch it off, the 50. Sorry, let me get some thermal paste on that. You can read it easier. If you're ever struggling to read a component marking, just get some thermal paste on there. BCP 53, I think that is that one. Yeah, BCP53 goes on the negative supply because that's connected to the ground of this capacitor, see? Whereas the positive goes on this capacitor, which is connected to the positive of this capacitor. That's the 56. So the 56 is the positive one. Okay, fantastic. So let's get our 15K back here. So the layout is slightly different, but the theory is the same. So that's connected to the positive, so that's going to be R56 probably, and this one here is connected to the negative, so that's going to be R53, I think I got that right. 53 connected to the negative, yeah. So 53 to the negative, so the 53 goes in this top location here. Okay. Did you do your TikTok live?
I thought I'd just hold it so they can see it as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, if you get any questions, just shout them out.
Yeah.
And this should be the 56 right about now. Anyone that don't pick only amps are a bunch of Karens. Well, that's like at least a third. Sam's Guide. Sam's Guide is coming up strong with a 39%. I might have to think about that. I kind of like Sam's Guide.
I feel like it really exists though for some reason.
Does it? Because it's a bit less cringe, isn't it? Like if I have to like tell some business like, oh yeah, if you check my notes in this page or whatever, and it's called Only Amps, that might be a bit embarrassing, especially as I get older and I've got my name behind this this guide.
I'm just going to stand up for it.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think if I don't go for the meme option, then I'll just go with Sam's Guide, probably.
Someone said nice bench setup.
It's looking messy right now, but thank you very much for the compliment.
A busy bench too.
It is a busy bench. There's all sorts going on here. Never have time to do it a massive tidy because I'm always, whenever I'm in here, is repair time, you know what I'm saying? Any time spent not repairing in the workshop is time wasted, unless it gets so messy that you can't move, which obviously you have to clean it up every now and then. But
yeah, that is
why do a lot of amps use a floating ground on the RCA inputs? Because the main ground usually is quite noisy. Where obviously if you have lots of different devices that are sharing the same ground point, okay, that ground point, being like the vehicle chassis for example, has a resistance of itself. So if you have a wiper motor that's grounded at one part of the frame, and you have an amplifier that's grounded on the same frame but like miles up the car, then the resistance of the chassis between the amplifier ground point and the the wiper motor ground point has a resistance, and because that has a resistance, there will be voltage drop across the ground from the wiper motor to the amplifier ground, and because there's a voltage drop there, you end up hearing the current drawn from the wiper motor. So as the wiper motor starts moving like that, the current that wiper motor draws will induce a slight ripple in voltage on the ground, chassis ground, reference to where the amp's grounded. So then that can be picked up by the signal which is referenced to chassis ground, and therefore it can get amplified. So having floating ground is definitely the ideal way to do it. The time when floating ground is a pain in the butt is when you have most of your amps with a floating ground, and then you hook up a bass amp that has a common ground, common RCA ground to main ground, because then you've got one amplifier that has one type of grounding method and another amplifier that has a different type of grounding method, and that's when you get crazy amounts of alternator whine because the amps are grounding differently. So one of them is trying to find a ground through the other one, and then you've got a very long high resistance ground trace which results in all this crazy noise. So our transistors are fitted in there for the auxiliary supply voltages, excellent stuff. Now we're going to fit our LM712s, which are, I've stolen these from my Taramps HD10K because they don't seem to exist anywhere to buy. They're discontinued parts and I can't seem to find any modern compatible alternatives. So yeah, we're just dropping these in. I've stolen them from my HD10K and I hope that they work okay. These are kind of old parts now, and the Taramps HD10K definitely did have some intermittent faults. And I'm hoping that the 712s weren't responsible for that, because if they were, then this HD15K is also going to exhibit those faults, which would not be helpful or pleasant. Rob says, my JL1001 does some odd shiz. Okay, when the RCA cable is plugged in, the subs put out a sound wave that gets louder the longer it's plugged in for, and no sound. I unplug them and the sound wave goes away. So you plug your RCA into your JL amplifier and you get like a sine wave that gradually gets louder the longer you leave it in. I've got to say, I've never come across an issue like that before. That's something that I would want to see on the bench. A while ago I said I was going to mess with some T-lines. Well, I did, and probably made the worst T-line ever. Zero maths went into it. Well, that's quite funny. Well, good job that you tried. It's always fun to mess around with stuff and try. But T-lines are not the kind of thing that's very forgiving to just winging it and seeing how it goes. Ported boxes, yeah. You can, if you make a ported box that looks about right, then you can kind of get away with it, because generally if a ported box looks kind of correct, then typically the port area is going to be about right, and the port length is going to be about right, and the box volume is going to be about right. So it's probably going to sound okay, even if it's not optimal. But with a T-line, yeah, you can seriously go wrong. You need to calculate the line length for the lowest frequency that you want to listen to. You also need to calculate the line area based on the piston area of the driver you're using, and a bunch of other stuff as well to do with the line geometry, and it can go wrong very fast. It can get even worse when you're doing a horn, like a tapped horn or something. That can go very bad very quickly. Okay, nice. I think that's soldered. We'll give the legs a little wiggle just to double check. Pure Sesh, I had no issues with my JL amp, only when I used another amp with it from my front stage, so I swapped both amps out. Yeah, interesting, yeah, just different ways of grounding. Only amps is winning, but only by 56%. Given that that's the mean one, I might be tempted to go with Sound Guide. Yeah.
just the most formal.
Yeah, it sounds good. It's kind of casual, it's kind of casual sounding enough to be kind of chill. It's like, yeah, it sounds good, but it also can be professional, innit? So Latvian video, you see all of the random experiments that you want to do. That's why I made Boomer Bust, so that people could model their crazy ideas that they didn't necessarily want to waste time and money building or didn't even know how to build, and then I'd 3D print it and see how it performed in the scale tests, which actually do they do match the real world testing. So yeah, it's a good way to prototype. Only Sam. Nah, see that's like the meme one, but more shit. So, sorry, Amir. Sorry, Amir. Yeah, Boomer Bust is coming back. Don't worry.
Yeah, you elaborate a bit more. So what?
Well, Boomer Bust.
Yeah.
Well, I've said I want to do the final episode of season 1, because obviously we left season 1 just hanging, right? So for the final episode of Boomer Bust, I want to compare all of the enclosures we had so far. Obviously we know which one is currently the loudest, but what I want to do is I want to do a calculation that works out how loud each enclosure was for its size. So I want to do a calculation of average output dBs versus how much space it took up in the cabin, total cubic foot volume. Because the winning enclosure should not just be the one that's the loudest, it should be the one that is the loudest for its given size. Because it's all well and good having the Tuba HT that can do, I don't know, whatever it was, 146 dBs, right? But it takes up the same amount of space as 4 benchmark aeroported boxes, which if I printed 4 of those benchmark aeroports, we'd probably be doing a 150 or more. So then the Tuba HT looks like a worse idea, do you know what I mean? Even though the Tuba HT is loud for a single 12, it takes up the same space as what you could put 4 12s in, and then 4 12s would then be louder. So yeah, size and space is absolutely key. So I want to do some kind of calculation that works out which enclosure that we printed was the best for its size. So that's what I'm currently working on to try and...
That'd be good.
Yeah, it'd be good. And then the season 2, probably might end up doing it down Doug's. There's been suggestions that I make season 2 be like full size. That's only possible if I would only be able to do that if Boomer Bust was crowdfunded somehow. People pay monthly. I don't want to paywall it. I don't want to make Boomer Bust like a members only or a Patreon series. I want it to be free for everyone to watch, because I think the information there is critical and everyone needs to have access to that. But I would need, definitely, if I was going to do it full size, no question about it, it needs some support, because each box is probably going to cost like at least £100 to make, like 40 or 50 pounds in wood. You've got the cuts, you've got the time, you've got the glue, the screws, and the time to build that. Also, by doing it full size with wood would mean that your designs that you send in would be they wouldn't be able to be as crazy and as wacky. Like, if being able to 3D print these designs means I've been able to do the most ridiculous shapes that would be all really freaking hard to do out of wood. And that's what was kind of fun about it, right? Is just testing all of your crazy ideas and experiments. And I want to try and maintain that, so...
No, I look forward to it, man. It'll be sick.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Whatever we end up doing, it'd be fun. I reckon summertime. Had another go at the Den and DJ Amplifier. I haven't looked at it since our last live stream. If we get through a few bits this evening, I might look at it on the stream this evening. We'll just see how we get on, I think. So, yeah. There's a couple other bits I just need to swap out for this HD15000. There's this resistor here that needs to go. It needs to be swapped from the 10K to the 15K. So let's do that. I think it's just a 10R0. Is that what goes there? Yeah, just a 10 ohm. I've got spare 10 ohms actually in the drawer here. Amplifier explained. That kind of sounds like a textbook.
Sounds like a YouTube video though.
Yeah, it sounds like a single episode, or like a single thing, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a single thing. Yeah, I think it needs to encompass the full guidiness of it. Yeah, just looking for a 10 ohm in my drawer of tricks.
Resonant repair. That's pretty cool.
Resonant repair. That's a cool business name. That is a cool business name. How about rinse, repair, repeat, or something like that?
Ooh.
Rinse, repair, repeat, or repair. What's a word beginning with R that means like abuse? Like obviously rag, but that sounds a bit shit.
I'm not thought about that.
Rinse, repair, repeat. Whenever you start Boom or Bust again, I'll still get my ad slot, won't I? Yeah, absolutely. Anyone that paid for ad slots in season 1 Boom or Bust, obviously by the time that the ads, the stuff came through for that, I think I only did like one more episode after that or something, or I didn't do any more episodes after that. So obviously that's shit. I did actually offer refunds to people for their sponsorship for season 1, but obviously if anyone who hasn't taken their refund will get continued sponsorship stuff for season 2. Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. So yeah, we need to drop a 10 ohm resistor in up here on the 15k over there. It's already 9 o'clock. Time goes mad fast, isn't it, when you're streaming? I find. Like, it doesn't feel like, I don't know what time we started streaming, but we've already been streaming for 1 hour since the internet went down. That's mad. It doesn't feel like that.
It's about 7, bro.
Yeah, that doesn't feel like that.
It's gone quick.
Right, so we've got one resistor replaced there. I'm pretty sure I replaced most other resistors in this output section already on the last live stream. So I think all that we've got left to do now on this, so yeah, everything's fitted. We've got the 072s that are looking a bit skew with, but they are soldered in. So I think the only thing left to do now in this 15k is a couple more power supply filter caps, and then we need power supply drivers and yeah, power supply drivers and power supply FETs, and then output FETs, and then I think we're good.
Nice. You've not got the FETs for them yet?
I've got the power supply FETs and I've got the output FETs, yeah. So I've got everything ready to go. So we could maybe do that. Roger begins with R and is abusive. As in he got rogered. Yeah, that's a bit far-fetched though. Thanks Gary for the suggestion though. Since most the amps are dead from people mounting them on their enclosure, says Pure Sesh. Oh, rattle, repair, repeat. Rattle, repair, repeat.
Yeah, I can see
rattle, repair, repeat. Maybe, yeah. Rattle is too many syllables though, isn't it? I feel like it needs to be single syllable, repeat. Even though that's 2 syllables. 1, 1, da da. It's like it's a rhythm. It's da 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 da. Something something repeat. Like eat, sleep, rave, repeat. You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, it needs to be a single syllable word at the start.
Let me Google it.
We're gonna GPT it. So we've got some power supply drivers here. These ones here are 32271s, I think. Let's just have a quick Google of those and see what they are. 32271 MOSFET driver. I think that's what it says anyway. How many soldering irons do you use? I only have 2. I have, hang on a minute, 3227. 3227T. That's an MICE. 3227T. Okay, hang on a minute. 3227T. MOSFET driver. FAN 3227. Okay, let's have a look at this. On the data sheet. Here we go. Just make sure this is correct. So the 3227 is non-inverting. Fantastic. Yeah, we've got 4 of those. That's absolutely spot on. So let's drop these in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely jubbly.
What is that? Were you numerical soldering?
Well, this thing?
No, that screen thing.
Oh yeah. If I need to really zoom in on something, like look at some broken trace or something like that. I'm gonna get a bigger one actually soon. Some company from China sponsoring me some next big one that clamps on the desk. So that's going to be pretty cool.
You've really got to.
Yeah. Rec, repair, repeat says UBM base, UBM base. Rec, repair, repeat. Sounds alright. That sounds better. I like that it's a single syllable. What's another word that means repeat? Or like this is the same as repeat, like another word that means repeat.
I don't know. Start off an R as well.
Let me get you up on this screen as well. Let me get you up on this screen as well. What is this thing? Too big in there. Because I lean forward. See, this camera angle ain't the best though still. Maybe I can go up on top here maybe? No, then you're gone. Then you're gone. Because when I'm leaning over I'm just like massively in your way.
It's fine, literally.
It's like a little kid looking out the car window, isn't it?
I would hold it, but I'd be a bit too close.
Nah, yeah, you'd be too close, yeah.
Come here, I'll sit back here. Yeah, then let's move over.
Redo is the same as repeat. Yeah, so basically I wanted another word for repeat that doesn't begin with an R. And I was trying to think of another thing to say. How about something, solder, send it. Smoke it, solder, smoke, solder, send it. I don't know, that doesn't quite work.
I think the simple is rinse, repair, repeat. Simple, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you think people know what rinse means though? Is that a UK thing?
It's a bit more of a UK thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Like in the UK, if you rinse something, you kind of like you use it. You use all of it. You take full advantage of it. I guess is a way to explain how you do rinse in the UK. It's also what you do in the kitchen as well. Roast, repair, reuse. Roast, repair, repeat. Kill it, solder, send it. And then that is KISS, kiss. That's kind of cool. Is your light on still? Or no.
It's too much hassle having to keep swapping between them.
Oh, as in lives, yeah. So yeah, there's a few more resistors as well we've got to sort out on this power supply side. There's a bunch of gate resistors, a bunch of VCC resistors as well for these power supply drivers. But this specific Taramps HD15000 board hasn't breathed a single breath of life in over, I want to say over 6 or 7 years.
This one?
Yeah.
7 years?
Yeah. So this was a board swap I did for a guy who owns a company called Basehal. He sent over some Taramps amps to do board swaps on, and so this one became a donor. Like that I just had in the and it was one of the it was relatively early on in my repair adventures. So yeah, I've had this for quite a long time, and it's just been a donor board. But yeah, seeing as I got a bit more tight with the guys at Taramps, I thought I'd ask them whether they were able to do me a special and ship me over some heat sinks so that I could make use of these boards and rebuild them up. So that's what we're trying to do today.
The transformer, I think, is massive.
Yeah, it's a big transformer thing on this. Straight Up says, I really like how they use the case as a ground return path. Yeah, it's it definitely assists with the the keeping the resistance of the ground down. The only thing that I don't like too much about it is that it's very easy for the user or the installer to short out either the 12-volt wire or one of the speaker terminals to the case, and where the case is like straight up ground. That then obviously can damage things or cause a massive spark or whatever. Whereas in most amplifiers, the case is capacitively coupled or with a high resistance coupled to the main ground. So if you touch your 12 volts on it, you either might get a small little spark or nothing really happens, which is obviously nice. Uh, 418 says, I have 2 Sound Digital 12Ks and 2 of the new Smart 8K, all blown just this year. What's bro doing? Do you know why they blew? Have they blown just randomly, or what's been happening? Have they blown on low volume or like sitting idle, or have they blown while you've been pushing them really hard? Because honestly, I find a lot of the time amplifiers blow, like they tend to blow more often when you're just sitting there idling them or low volume or something. Bevids, do you have a good Powerhouse dealer close to you? Yes, I do. My man Tom from Crown Customs in the UK, he is the UK distributor for Powerhouse, and he usually has pretty decent stock. He usually keeps stocked up. And I'm pretty sure he's quite grateful for my constant recommendation of Powerhouse, because I'm pretty sure that I've been fueling his sales of Powerhouse for the last few years. So yeah, I can get my hands on Powerhouse pretty easily, I think. I'm not too happy with how that one's soldered, so I'm just going to do it with the iron. When we power this up, do you want to probe it? Do you want to see me probe it?
Yeah, go on.
I can tell you what to touch and that, because I mean this is my amp, so it's not even like as customers that you've got to be careful about, you know. 841 said, playing the low frequency stuff, no clipping. Weird. Strange for you to have such bad luck with so many, because like I know people that run those kind of amps for years, you know, lows and stuff, and never have any issues, so it's weird. What voltage are you running at? Are you running like lithium with 15 volts or 16 volts, or are you running standard charging system, sort of 14.4 volts? 16 volts. Well, there's your issue, my man. Yeah, those amps don't want 16 volts. There's your problem, bro. This is for the guy who's running. Oh, the amps is only on 49% now. Yeah, sorry, this is for Sound Digital 12Ks and 2 of the new Smart 8Ks. Yeah, those amps don't want 16 volts. Those amps want like 14.4. The power supply sections in them are regulated, so you don't actually benefit at all from being at 16. It's not like an old Korean amp where the output power scales proportionate to the input voltage. They regulate the power supply voltage. So above 14 volts, all you're doing is causing the regulator circuit to be overworked, and you can get voltage spikes from the power supply regulator not kicking in time, which overshoots probably the voltage limits of the drivers in those amps. So yeah, I think that your solution there, 418, is knock it back down to a sensible charging voltage, 14.4, 14.8, something like that, and you should be fine. Is this HD15K going in your van? Yeah, hopefully, provided we can get it working, hey? So what I need to do now is I need to run some 4.7 ohm resistors in line with these drive ICs because they need their supply resistors there. So I'm just going to quickly do that. And then once we've done that, we can fit FETs, and then I think we're ready for a test. A couple of VCC resistors, a couple of gate resistors, and then I think we're ready to drop some FETs in and power it up.
What FETs do these take?
So the output sections in these take IGBTs. So IGBTs are transistors. They're like a cross between a transistor and a MOSFET. So they have a MOSFET gate. So the pin 1 is still a gate, but the relationship between the drain and source, like the leg 2 and 3, is more like a transistor and less like a MOSFET. But IGBTs, they can be much higher voltage than MOSFETs. MOSFETs tend to, like high current MOSFETs, tend to cap out at about 300 volts. Once you go up to 400 volts and 500 volts, you can still get ridiculously high power MOSFETs up there, but they're more expensive and a bit more volatile, whereas IGBTs, like, they generally start at like 650 volts. That's like where they start at. And ridiculously high current as well. They're just a bit harder to drive and a bit slower, so you don't tend to find them in high speed switching applications. You tend to find them in like slower speed stuff.
And you see, like when you were talking about how close the raw voltage was to the cap rating on the Big Boss 8, is it the same principle in this?
Not sure actually. That's a good point. It's been so long since I worked on like a Taramps like this. Yeah, we'll have a look and see how close to the rail cap ratings the rail voltages are. I think the Taramps stay well away. They stay within good headroom of all of their electronic components, whereas the Chinese clones of the Sound Digital circuit, they don't. They're like sitting right at the limit.
No, the Big Boss 8 was right at the limit.
The Big Boss 8. Oh yeah, the Big Boss 8.
It was right at the limit.
Is it?
It was 200 volt caps for 200 volt.
Was it?
Yeah,
was it?
Right on it.
Maybe they don't then. Maybe Taramps don't.
Yeah, it was right on it.
We'll have a look, because obviously they use IGBTs in the output section, and the IGBTs they use have typically been like 350 volt parts, which in the amps that they've used them in has been good headroom. Yeah, interesting about that. We shall find out. So we're currently fitting some 4.7 ohm resistors, and these are in series with the VCC supply, I think. Are they? Yeah, something like that. VCC supply to the drive ICs, by the looks of it, I think. I think that is anyway.
You're asking the wrong person.
I think that is. Let's check in on the on this big one down here. 4.7 ohm. Well, I'm fitting 4.7s in here. I think that's right. 12 volts DC into there. And then, well, maybe is that supposed to be a high value resistor? Let me just check this. So I'm fitting 4.7s, assuming that these are the VCC supply resistors for the drive ICs, but they might not be.
Speak up, Adrian.
Haven't actually checked it. Yo, Adrian, another 5, dude. Chill, it's fine, man. Fuck. 418. Lightning. Oh, Lightning said, hit the like button. Do it. Do it for your boy Sam. Thank you very much, Adrian. Always got my back, dude. Thank you very much. So what we saying? We've got 12 volts on that side. On the other side, we got, ooh, oh yeah, obviously. So we haven't got ground on the other side, that's a good thing. We have pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pin 6 on the drive IC, which, yeah, I think is VCC. Alright, cool. Yeah, 4.7 it is then.
Matthew said you got any B-line for the drive tomorrow.
Do I have any B-line for the drive tomorrow? No, man. I don't, I'm afraid, because factory head unit and all that thing. It's long, isn't it? Also, the problem is, any temporary B-line for the journey down tomorrow, I'd have to then bring back on the train. Because I ain't driving home. Get the train home, so nah. Unfortunately not. You can make your own beeline with your mouth, innit? We play some tracks and you can be like brr, 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 brr. Did the band work out last week? Yes, and also no. Oh man, my throat is killing me. I talk way too loud on live. I always end up getting a sore throat.
That's why I'm not talking.
Alright guys, just a quick one. If I talk quietly like this, can you guys still hear me alright? Because this is much better on my voice. My throat is hurting. I always feel like, because when I'm live, yeah, because the people watching me are far away in real space, they're in America,
yeah,
so I feel like I've got to shout because so they can hear me, even though the mic is like fine. I'll take a sip of water.
Yeah, so everyone hears you fine.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to talk a bit more quietly now then. Yeah, what else are we saying in the chat? Sorry, who is your guest? So if anyone that's recently joined, my guest here is Sinewave 02. Sinewave 02 makes audio content on YouTube and TikTok. He gained his following. He's actually got mad followers on TikTok. He's pretty big on TikTok. Basically doing the kind of stuff that I used to do to grow my channel. Subwoofer excursion videos, fun audio experiments, indoor rigs, car audio demonstrations, that kind of thing, product demonstrations. But he's doing it on a much bigger level than I was ever doing it in my bedroom. So if you happen to be on TikTok already, go and give him a follow. Sinewave 02. Yeah, really cool content up on there if you're not following him already.
What was your favourite indoor rig when you was doing it?
Well, like, what was my favourite system like that I had?
Yeah, you must have multiple.
So the one that really sticks in my mind was the 2.8s in the L-ported box, because that was quite a big step up in bass. Like I hadn't really ever had big bass before then.
I thought you would have said the T-line, Pioneer T-line.
Pioneer T-line.
A single T-line box.
Oh yeah, that was mad. Yeah, but by that point I'd already had like big bass in the car, so the kind of novelty had worn off. But that definitely sounded amazing for sure. Like yeah, that's one of the best sounding sub setups I've had in a room.
And is that the same Pioneers you have now? Kept them still?
Yeah.
Wow, and they've lasted.
Yeah, well I had two, didn't I? I had two of them in my Proton initially, and that was good fun. But then I blew one of them up. I don't know how. One of them blew, the other one survived. But the one that survived, I still have. I found another second one on Marketplace. So one of them is original. The other one is still I've had for a long time, but wasn't original. And then the third one I actually found recently, like a few weeks ago, a couple months ago.
It would have been from the same era, though, right?
Oh yeah, same era. Yeah, exactly same era.
No foam rot, nothing. That's crazy.
Yeah. Can you hear me when I talk quiet? Also, Sam going back to loud. It's so hard not to. It's so hard not to.
It's habit.
I can hear you drinking that water. Man's sipping. Dehydration in this place. You sound all seductive now. ASMR with Bevids. ASMR, Amplifier, Speciality, Mad Ting Repair. Amplifier. Yeah, I can't know. Alright, so we have all of our 4R7 VCC resistors fitted to our drive ICs. I'm just being a little bit unhappy with how the solder's been taking on some of these, so especially this one right here. So I'm just going to top it up with the iron here a little bit. I think that the solder on this pad is the original lead free, so it has a really high.
That's a good point for people watching. What solder do you use? Because there's all different types.
Yeah, there's all different types.
And
so
what's the benefits of the different types?
Yeah, you tend to find that stuff that's produced now in factories is using lead-free solder, because obviously lead is poisonous, so keep that out. But lead-free solder has a higher melting point and is just generally much more sort of crumbly and difficult to work with, and the kind of flux that you need to work with lead-free solder is nasty. Like the fumes that the flux gives off is actually pretty bad anyway, so it's a kind of catch-22 situation. Do you use leaded solder, which is poisonous, or do you use lead-free solder but then have to use some janky freaking flux to make it flow? But the solder I use is 6040 or 3763, I think it is. Wait a minute, where's that? Yeah, which I find for me is flows really nicely. It's a nice low melting point as well. So yeah, it's easier to desolder things from the board and resolder things to the board without having to dump like a crap load of heat into the board. So yeah, 6040 is what I always recommend. I've never actually seen anyone do a T-line, says you sir, even though they say it sounds amazing and it's basically a perfect box. They're so intricate and hard to produce. I've always considered them as a novelty as well. They're not too hard to produce. Like a basic T-line is literally just a tube that is the same length as a quarter of the wavelength of the lowest frequency you want to play. It's very, very simple. They're not a perfect box by any means, and you need a specific driver to make them work better than another type of enclosure. And they're not always practical because of the size that they need to be. For like a T-line, for a given amount of space you might have in your car, let's say you got a car, let's say you got a given amount of space in your boot. You could either fill that with one T-line for a 10-inch sub or an 8-inch sub, or you could fill it with 212s and L-poid. What's like the 212s in the L-poid is going to be louder than the single 10 T-line. So even though the T-line might be the best box for that sub, it's not the best use of space. But if you have the space, then you do see T-lines a lot in home audio and also in PA. Like horns are T-lines basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a couple more resistors to fit. Gate resistors. I think I'm gonna go with 4.7 ohm gates for these FETs. These FETs that I've ordered for this amplifier are, where's that nice slab of FETs here? We've got some IRLP 3034 PBF. I've never used these before in my life. I don't know how well they're going to work, but they were pretty cheap for their given specs. Actually, you know who's good at MOSFET specs and determining whether something's going to work well in a given application? Straight up kick you in the nuts. If you're still watching, buddy, do you want to have a quick look at the datasheet for these? Just to let me know your thoughts on whether I picked something decent or something that's going to be rubbish. Because I didn't spend too much time looking at the data sheets for these, to be honest, to pick them. I just had a quick filter on RS components and had a look at what was some powerful low voltage FETs. So these are IRLP 3034. So let me know your thoughts on those. I've got a feeling they might not be like the best choice, but they were very cheap for their apparent performance. So we'll see how it goes. Did you happen to see the rather long-winded comment I made about the SOA? Was that recently, just now? Or was that on a video? I think I do remember that, but I'm not sure if I remember reading it all or something. I'm not sure. Maybe it was when the stream cut out or something.
Can't let that 4GB holding strong.
Yeah, it's still alright, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still alright. It's doing alright. The stream is still working alright. Outputting 6K there, kbps. It was on a repair video, not in live chat. Oh, in that case, I need to go back through my comments and have a look at that because I might have missed that. I sometimes don't always catch all comments on videos, so I might have to go back and have a look and see what was on there. So we've got some 4.70 gates. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, it must be kind of weird because people are wondering who I am, but it's because I've never actually showed my face.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so like lots of people probably already know who you are, and have subscribed to you on TikTok or whatever on YouTube, but I've never seen your face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, we've got 9 per side. I don't even know if I've got 9 of these resistors spare. 18, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, you know what? I don't even.
Reminds me of the old negatives on the film.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I'm gonna have to use 10 ohms because I don't have enough for R7s. It's fine. That's fine. We'll go with some 10 ohms instead. I'm sure it'll work fine. Do I have enough 10s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've got 19 left, so I can't lose any of these. None of these can drop on the floor or in my keyboard. Because otherwise I'll be screwed and I'll have to find a donor board. Amir says, I did not expect you to be so good looking, Sinewave. What a shocker.
Appreciate it.
The Ryzen 4 times are rather long, but for a 20 kHz SMPS, it's fine. Robust little guys for sure. Awesome. Thank you very much, Straight Up. That's given me a bit of confidence. So yeah, cheers for that little insight there. We'll see how it goes. May have to adjust the dead time depending on the original FETs. I don't know if you can, because this amplifier is MCU controlled, so I won't be able to adjust any of the duty cycle or dead time or anything like that, but hopefully it'll be alright. This amplifier, Straight Up, was originally using I might get the prefix wrong. I think it was IRFP 4004s. So if the datasheets for the 4004s look similar enough in the parameters that you're talking about, then hopefully they'll work fine. Latvian video says, need advice, a gas PSP 3501, power and protect flashing, fan sounds like its bearing is dead, suspecting it's because of the low voltage when pushing it hard. What could the issue be? So is that amplifier one of the Chinese clones of the sound digital circuit? Does it have the 3 LEDs, power, clip and protect, blue, orange and red usually? And is it a full bridge amplifier? And it's pretty compact in size. If so, then probably it's just killed some output FETs. So you might need to replace some output FETs, maybe some drive circuit work as well.
That's a good question for you. What is your favourite Taramps lineup?
Favourite Taramps lineup? It's got to be the Smarts, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually nailed it with the Smart series. I think it's idiot proof because you can wire it down in the dirt and it'll only ever clamp as much power as it's designed to, whether it's 3K or 5K or whatever. So obviously you haven't had mad experience with like car amps, but do you have any car amps that are your favourites that you'd want to run if you were doing like a car system? Any that you've seen based on pictures?
I'll be honest, like I do a lot of audio, but I've not really been in like an automotive environment
that's fair.
to really decide.
Yeah,
it's mostly been mains voltage amps.
What about subs though? Like if you could have any sub in the world to run in your like car or whatever, money no object or whatever, what do you care? Would you have any specific subs?
I was talking with Sesh.
Yeah.
I can't lie. He's got me looking at them Pride UFOs.
Oh man, yeah, the Pride's fucking awesome. Yeah.
So I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. What about me? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know actually.
Because it just depends on the
Like
application.
it was my DDZ4s. Like that was the dream sub. But now I'm not such a big fan of them, to be honest. It might actually even be similar to you. Yeah, it might be some of the big bad boy Prides.
Do you know what else I've had my eye on as well?
Go on.
The B2 Rampage 18 Elites. They look really nice.
Yeah, the only problem with the B2 subs is though is that their soft parts are just not strong.
Yeah,
they don't hold up. The triple joints break.
Yeah.
And
my two Rampage 8s, they all broke at the triple joints, but they're still beautiful subs. Do you know what I mean?
they're lovely subs, and they're designed with the right mindset. But yeah, just they're the same as DDs in that sense, in terms of like, actually no, I'd say probably worse than DDs in that sense. The DDs have generally relatively strong triple joints, but they don't take abuse like the cheap Chinese stuff do. Like the Chinese built subs, I don't know, there's something about the soft part materials or whatever. They just take so much abuse and they don't ever really.
Was it always like that, or is it because they're kind of watching? To see what's going on.
I don't know. No, because even the old red lines and the old power drives, like I've never seen a power drive spider rip. I don't know. Have you?
Never.
No, never. I've never seen a DD712 spider rip, and they've been abused. People have abused those. What came before that? Like obviously you had the old XT line. I think they were kind of whack, but I don't know what their build quality. I never saw them.
What the Mark 1s? I've never had a Mark 1.
What was one you had? The chrome one that you put in your Logitech?
It was a chrome, bro.
Oh, was it not?
That was the 8-inch to the XT series.
Oh, with the carbon looking cone.
Yeah. It's like the inverted cone.
Yeah.
I've never had the Mark 1.
I didn't realise. How many years ago was that then?
When I got mine?
Yeah, when you first did that, when you first bought your 8 and put it in the Logitech.
22.
What, 2022?
Yeah.
Not that long ago.
No.
So you've only been doing like TikTok for like a couple of years. Fuck.
That's
That's
literally.
mad.
And before TikTok, I didn't.
You didn't really much, yeah.
I took apart the old soundbar home cinema system.
Yeah. Was you into audio in that?
Yeah, I've always been into
Yeah.
it, but I decided to take it seriously in 22.
Do you know what made you realise you were into audio, or made you want to get into it? Like, did someone give you a sound system and you were like, oh man, this is sick, or watching the speaker move was like sick, or anything like that? Or was it your Logitech? You liked seeing the sub move in that or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that, and then I was like, do you know what? I want to elaborate on it. I want to see what else there is more to it. And then, yeah, it's been fun.
Sick.
What got you into audio?
That was a Rotel. My mum gave me her old Rotel boombox hi-fi system that was built in like the 80s or something. Was it even earlier than that? I don't know. But yeah, but that had, so it was a really old school amplifier, so it had the dials and the switches on the front were very tactile and heavy. So it had a bass knob, like, it had bass and treble, and when you turned the bass it felt really heavy, click, 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 like that. And the amplifier was well overpowered for the drivers that it had. So the excursion was crazy. I still got the Rotels in here, and the excursion was crazy on them for like, I've never seen that before.
Do you reckon they will remember them?
Oh yeah, you guys are watching. You'll probably remember the Rotels, yeah. A lot
Is
of
it the one with the grates at the front of it?
Yeah, although I don't have the grates in there anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, the Rotels was like, because I got that hi-fi system, and yeah, I'd play my music through it, and I'd turn the bass knob up, and I'd see the speakers like visibly moving, and I'd never really seen that before, because like the Pioneer hi-fi system that my parents had in their lounge had like speaker grills, so you couldn't see the drivers, and I just thought it looked kind of mesmerising. I was like, oh, that's sick. And yeah, when it was pumping out bass, it just looked and sounded really, really cool. It sounded powerful, so yeah, I just kind of wanted more of that, I guess. Yeah, Matthew remembers all of my old videos as well. Literally, Matthew, yeah, his jokes, right? He'll be like, we're having a conversation, yeah, about something audio or even something not audio related, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's kind of like in your video from like in your video where you walked up the stairs at this angle, and there was like a little bit of vibration on that bit of wallpaper there, and you said oh mad or something, and then you were playing Young Jeezy something song at 2 minutes 54. Like his memory of my videos is absolutely insane. It's so funny. I'll be like, dude, how do you remember that? I don't even remember that.
Yeah. Well, if you could do a system right now in the house.
In the house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where
would you start?
Well, I already have my electrostats, so they were like a kind of dream speaker for a while, so I'm really happy with those. The thing that I would want to do differently with that setup at the moment is a different room, bigger room, and having the electrostats not up against the wall. That really kills their beauty a little bit in terms of how they sound. The electrostats need to be away from walls to breathe, because obviously with electrostats they fire the sound wave backwards as well, so that needs a bit of time to get to the rear and then to bounce off the rear wall to then invert to match in phase with the front. They do need a bit of room to breathe, which I don't currently have. So I'd want to get them on a better amplifier. I mean, the Technics amp is nice, it's fine, but it's not doing them the best justice that they could do.
What, it's just the Technics amp that's running them?
Running the speakers, yes, just the Technics. But I haven't played them fully loud for
sounds
you.
Wicked for just that.
What I'll do is this evening, when we're done with the stream and we're chilling downstairs, I'll turn them up. I'll turn them up really loud for you, so you can hear what they sound like, sort of themselves. They continue getting louder and louder with no sign of fatigue or distortion or anything. They're ridiculous. Yeah, they're really, really cool. Subwoofer wise, yeah, I don't know. I mean, a sub's a sub. Like I've said many times before on here and stuff like that. Once you get past a certain point with subwoofers, they kind of all just sound the same. Provided you've got the frequency response right and there's no like crazy high THD, the subwoofer is just a subwoofer. It's just filling in the lows. Like I'd love something that was flat down to like 18 hertz or whatever. So I guess that would be the thing. Yeah, like maybe like a big infinite baffle, cut a massive hole in my wall and like fit a couple of 18s in the wall or something. That would be the dream setup to go with the electrostats.
Yeah, that's sick.
And that's what I want to do in the Proton as well. Like ideally, I want to have infinite baffle, like a big. What I wanted to do in the Proton was to have a massive showpiece. Have like something stupid like the B2 Audio 32-inch. So have that mounted in the boot floor, infinite baffle, just because it would look mad. Massive 32-inch sub. Imagine not opening the boot, seeing that. It'd just be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Like fully inverted cone as well. I like the bowl, the fully inverted bowl cone. Big 32-inch one of those would be so cool.
Is the Martin Logan's, that's the electrostats, isn't it?
Yeah, Martin Logan's, yeah, it's electrostats, yeah. I haven't looked at the live chat for a bit.
But yeah, no, the electrostats, they are sick. They don't sound direct like I said, like tweeters do. It's very just,
yeah.
You can't point it, that's what I can describe it. Literally.
What did Donnell think of the sound? Oh yeah, you just answered that, yeah. But yeah, we haven't like had a proper like listening session with them yet, like just fully like loud and stuff. Like we had a little mess around with them earlier when we was listening to some bass, but haven't really had a full big listen. Right, I'm missing a surface mount capacitor from there, so I'm just going to drop one of those in. I might be missing a couple of those actually.
What is that syringe hold parts as well?
Huh?
Was that syringe hold parts as well?
No, that was just a bit more flux.
What's that inside of it? Is that
Whereabouts?
in there?
Oh, that's not supposed to be in there. I'm not even sure what that is. That's like a little rubber grommet from an amp.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's just got in there somehow. Matthew sends a 5! Dude, thank you for the 5, man. You don't have to do that. Thank you very much, dude. That's why I don't get companies like REL charging so much for low power subs when you can do so much better with DIY. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. But that's what happens when you're paying a company to make something for you, innit? Like the same thing can go for food, innit? You buy ready-made food from a restaurant, costs you like 14 quid, so you can make for like 50p at home. You pay for the convenience of somebody else doing it all for you, and they have to make money on that. So
that's a good point as well. I keep hearing people talk to me about rotary subs.
oh, where's that? Oh, rotary sub in the window. Take it to 1 hertz. Yeah,
Oh, they're good.
they're very hard to get right. They're very hard to build right. Like that, and there are a couple of companies.
Do they get loud? Like, on DB wires, can they get loud?
Oh, at low frequencies, like low, like because of how they work. As soon as you try and play above like 25, they just don't really work. So they're designed for like 1 hertz to like 20 hertz. There's some videos actually on YouTube at the moment of some guy that's been messing around building his own. I think he's just used like an old subwoofer coil and spider assembly with a magnet coil and spider assembly. Cut the basket kind of in half, mounted a motor shaft through the pole vent with some fan blades on it, and he's got the fan blades attached to the coil so that the pitch of the blades moves with the coil. And then he's had that mounted in his window, and yeah, like he's playing like 5 hertz, and his door's like going
Yeah.
like this.
I need to try it. I might do it.
Yeah, but now we've got 3D printing. It would be easier to make like all the linkages, all the mounts you need for that sort of experiment without like needing to mill stuff out of metal. But I know that he's found it difficult getting the blades correct and like the linkages so they don't break and the bearings and stuff. It's like a very it's not an easy thing to build.
Intricate.
Yeah.
Something I don't have. Okay,
Straight Up says, those are very similar MOSFETs to the original, slightly harder to drive and about twice as slow. Idle temps will show any dead time issues. Thanks very much, Straight Up. I appreciate your insight on those original FETs. Thank you very much. Lads, please send me some suggestions for the 2 XT6, says Damin. What does he want? Box suggestions?
Yeah, probably box suggestions, bro.
I would actually be tempted to say, but depending on how much space you've got, I'd be tempted to say passive radio. That'd be pretty sick. Imagine two of those XT6s and like a 12-inch passive rad. That might be pretty cool.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they have enough motive.
Well, but two of them though instead of one. Two of them plus maybe 2 of them plus a 10-inch passive rad.
Because I'm gonna do a build for them in a T-line.
Okay.
Don't know how it's gonna sound. But
yeah.
If it does well, then it does well.
Wow. It's in a mini, so not a great deal of space. I don't know. Yeah, you might fit a T-line for the XT6s in a mini, because obviously it'd be thin, relatively thin and whatever.
I mean, the best person for T-lines and that would probably be to contact Sesha about it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, I'd say do a tapped horn and get Harwood Acoustics to design it, but that might be too big, and also that design would cost you about £100. What hot air station are you using? I'm using an AOUA, just a cheap Chinese hot air station. It's nothing special, but it gets the job done. Saw a guy put one of his cars infinite bath style. Or put one in his car infinite bath style. Use RC helicopter stuff for the fans. Oh, maybe, yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously there's all these like smaller motors now, especially drones and stuff. You use drone motors. But it's all like the linkages and stuff between the fan blades and the coil and getting everything running smoothly like that.
Like, if you have like rotary sub in the car, when you're driving, does it not have an effect on the blades?
Probably not enough. Because the blades will be very lightweight, so they won't have much inertia, so they won't have much like effect on being.
So if you hold a drone and you try to turn it, it's got like.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, obviously a car doesn't have much roll axis, so the only G-forces from the car are going to be like acceleration and stop, and a little bit left and right. But I think if you were to try and roll the car side to side, then yeah, you get a bit of gyroscopic action from that. Yeah, I think you would. All right, this now has all 4 drivers fitted, all the gate resistors, all of the ceramic caps for the drivers. Has the auxiliary supply transistors fitted. that's all looking good. Obviously it has all the rectifiers, and the output section, I think it has everything. So guys, for the first time, we're ready to try and power this thing up. Before we put power supply FETs in, I'm just going to confirm that this thing is actually sending pulses to the power supply gate legs. Can you take that from me for 1 second? You can just bang it somewhere random. So yeah, this amplifier has a brand new MCU from Taramps. Haven't powered this up in. Actually, you know what? It needs one. It needs 2 more power supply filter caps, but that's not essential for powering it up just now on the bench. So I'm just going to leave that for a minute. Does the XT12 handle more power than the XT10, or is it the same coil? I imagine it's the same coil.
Same coil, just a bigger cone.
What about the XT8? Is that the same coil as the 10, or is it smaller?
It's all the same coil.
Wait, even the 6?
I don't know about the 6, but no, the 8, 10 and 12, same coil, same magnet. Everything's the same, just different basket and different cone.
So the 8 is like a very big 8, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the 12 is like the 10 is like a average, and the 12 is like a little bit underpowered.
Exactly,
yeah. Is there an XT15?
No,
was there
on the Mark 1s there was,
right,
but not on the Mark 2s. But I'm trying to do it.
Oh yeah. With it having the same coil and motor as the 12, or you'd have it a bit bigger.
On top, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Right. Well, let's get some power going into this board. See what we're saying. See if there's any underlying issues that I don't know about with this board, because like I say, I have never powered this board up myself. This board has never been powered myself before, so we're gonna see what it's doing. Do you have any room to shift over that way? Like that way? Like on the chair? Yeah, that's calm. Yeah, that works. That's good. That's really good. On Saturday, I'll be going to a bass event. Hopefully, going to be fun. Nice. I hope you have fun, buddy. Okay, so I need to zoom in on the scope. I need to go down to about 20 microseconds time divide. Let's go for 10. Reject high frequencies. Fine. Okay, so power supply is going on. Okay, let's get it lined up a little bit better. Power supply is going on now. Okay, there's no parasitic draw, which is good. Just make sure that there's no DC on any of the gate pads. Collectors on. See, we've got 12 volts there ready at the MOSFET drain pads. That's good. There's no 12 volts DC anywhere on any of the gates by the looks of it either, which is good. Great stuff. Okay. The output section, I'm just going to check for like solder bridges on the underside actually, because you know what, I never even checked for that yet on this board. Just make sure there's no like solder bridges on any of the output FET locations or power supply FET locations or anything like that. I think we're looking alright. Okay, cool. Big Jeff Audio, what's up from the USA? Love watching this stuff. We need more reliable Amplifier guys in the US. Man, thanks for watching, Big Jeff. Appreciate you coming on. There are some great techs in the US. Don't get me wrong, there's some great techs in here. I think the thing is the USA is like a massive country. It's like Europe oversized. So there are definitely some great techs in the US, but I know that all the techs that I speak to from the US, they have like a 6-month like turnaround because they're so busy. Yeah, I definitely know of some fantastic techs over in the States, but whether you can get your stuff repaired, you know, reasonably quickly or not, I don't know, because I think in the States there are so many more dead amps compared to techs, whereas over here in the UK, although you've only got pretty much me and Gordon who does some like Class A, B, SQ stuff, the amount of people doing car audio in the UK is much less than in the States, so yeah, they're pretty overwhelmed. Yeah, exactly. Some here only repair certain brands. Yeah, that's understandable. I know that Gordon over here, Gordon is the designer behind Genesis. If any of you have ever heard the brand Genesis, really fantastic SQ amplifier brand that was made in the UK by this nice man called Gordon. Yeah, he only repairs certain brands these days because he's had enough of like a lot of the nonsense that you get with like big Class D amplifiers and SPL competitors and stuff like that. Me, I'm a bit of a brand whore. I'll just repair anything. I'll just work on anything. But yeah, I know a lot of people, a lot of technicians will turn away maybe specific Brazilian stuff or Korean stuff, or Alpines I think might be something that a lot of people will turn away just because they're very complicated. But yeah, right, let's see if we get gate drive for the very first time on this HD10K. Are we going to see it? I have no idea. I have no idea if this MCU is even going to work. So, let's go. Give you the scope screen. Reject low frequency. 3, 2, 1. Ah, yes! We have low duty cycle pulses.
Nice.
Beautiful. I wonder if I can get that locked in on the scope. There we go. Yeah, excellent. That's exactly what we want to see. So that is basically the amplifier trying to build a little bit of rail voltage, and if it detects a little bit of rail voltage is built from that, then what it will then do is it will then continue with full power up. But obviously at the moment, because we don't have any power supply FETs fitted, it's not continuing with a full power up because nothing's getting built. So that's cool. I'm just checking that we have the same sort of pulses on every bank. Excellent stuff. So now it's ready for some power supply FETs. Excellent. Yeah, let's drop them in. Let's drop them in. Where did I put them?
Rounds.
Awesome. This is going to be this amplifier is going to be used in my my Vito demo van, provided it works and everything goes smooth with it. So hopefully it does me well.
So how many FETs does this board take?
In the power supply it takes 18. 18 FETs in the power supply. And then in the output section we got 8 IGBTs. Imagine that! 8 IGBTs doing 15k. That's mad. IGBTs are crazy powerful. For the Banda Viking 15k, it takes 16 IGBTs to do 15k. But I think the Bandas are just a bit overbuilt. They definitely are built more sort of like, you know, a bit more overbuilt. Yeah, a bit more over-engineered. There's no need. There's no real need for 16 IGBTs for 15k. But I suppose nothing wrong with having them. But that doesn't actually mean anything because the Banda Viking 15Ks are actually not notably reliable. Like you would have thought, if it's overbuilt, like if it's got 16 IGBTs, then it'd be more reliable. But it's not. They go bang. They go bang quite a bit.
What side? Output side?
Output side, yeah, output side. The Banda, interestingly, the Banda power supply sections are super reliable. Yeah, it's just the output sections in the Bandas go bang all the bloody time, and it's a shame really. Bevids is B2, big in your area. To be honest, Jeff, nothing's really big in our area. The UK audio scene is kind of small, but of the audio scene that we do have, I would say, what would you say the brand that you see the most of? Edge and Vibe. It's the affordable stuff, more affordable than like the B2s and the Sundowns and the DDs and stuff. It's the affordable stuff that's all kind of made in China to a specific spec and sort of mass produced. But for its price, it does perform really well. Like it might not perform as well as the B2s, but it performs close enough for like a fraction of the price. Of those more premium brands, definitely the most popular is probably the Sundowns.
But they're quite rare down there, to be honest.
Do you reckon? Yeah, but I'm trying to think B2. Who's running B2 subs that I know of? I'm trying to think. Like a proper droppers in that. Who's running B2 subs?
The main ones I see is Vibe Edge.
Vibe Edge.
Bassface.
Bassface.
What else?
You see FI audio?
Sometimes.
Yeah, there was a big build doing 163s using FI 15s. So in your area, SQ or Basshead, it's more street bass. It's more like Basshead, kind of like slamming lows and yeah, street bass kind of like vibes. Not really SPL. Like when people say SPL, I think of DB drag. I think of burping a 63 hertz, boop, in like a Fiat Marbella or Panda and doing like a 160 from a single 12 at 63 hertz. That's not really what goes on in the UK. It's more low frequency demo kind of like stuff. So it's 20 hertz to 40 hertz, ridiculously windy builds, lots of hair tricky kind of builds. Yeah, it's that kind of vibe really. But yeah, don't really see a massive amount of B2
You
B2
don't even
subs.
see like the crazy van builds they do like 70s and things like that. You know, like they do the big.
Oh yeah, no,
You don't see that down
there's not really any what I would class as
Extreme.
typically extreme builds. Like what you think of classically extreme, like 170, 180 dBs kind of like stuff. There isn't any of that over here because everyone just wants to play lows.
Yeah.
No one wants to go beep and bust a 170 with a broken windscreen. Everyone just wants to get windy demos and stuff over here pretty much. Def Bonds, yeah. Actually, there's a few guys running. There's a guy called Ryan who was running a pair of Def Bonds 12s in a 6th order wall, and that was ridiculous. Yeah, a few guys running Def Bond subs. I actually rate the Def Bond subs. Yeah, they're bigger stuff. Their bigger stuff with their homebrew motors are actually like pretty stout, and they have a similar kind of feel to the soft parts like the Carnage does, in the sense that it feels like kind of mass produced, but it just never breaks, like it never rips or anything like that. Yeah, they're pretty well built subs, to be honest. But saying that though, Jeff, going back to your question, SQ is actually, I would say, as big in the UK, if not maybe bigger than the SPL competition scene.
Definitely.
Yeah, the SQ stuff in the UK is actually quite popular, and quite a lot of people from the UK travel to Europe for the EMMA, the EMMA sort of competitions, the SQ competitions that they have over there. And there's in the UK there's a lot of people spending a lot of money on like SQ amplifiers, and like people are dropping like $1,500 on like an Audison amp that does like 600 watts. You know what I mean?
What's a good SQ brand?
What's a good SQ brand? I actually quite like DLS. DLS are using similar circuit designs to Genesis, which is Gordon's design stuff. Big fan of Alpine, or always have been. Big fan of Alpine. Yeah, like I'm trying. My brain's gone blank now. I usually have loads of brands to list off for SQ. Can't think now. I do respect Audison. I don't necessarily think their stuff is the best, and their stuff fails like in random ways. But I respect Audison for designing their stuff from scratch. So their circuit designs are mad complicated, and they design it all from scratch.
Yeah, but do they really go wrong?
They go wrong a reasonable amount. but at least they're trying to design something from scratch that's bespoke. You know what I mean? Rather than just like, for example, Zapco just pisses me off. They're charging like $1,500 for like a Korean 3K. Like there's basically an IPA 7001. They're charging $1,500 for it. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. So.
$1.50.
Yeah. Vijay says, "Yo, what's up, buddy? From South Africa. Love your content. What's up, buddy? Good to have you on the stream. Appreciate you, man." 2023, it really took off here, but people want budget price but complain when it doesn't work, like the pricey stuff. Sundown has really grown here. They got bought. Yeah, I think didn't Sundown get bought out by, or they formed a kind of partnership or a coexistence thing with Excess Power or something like that.
Yeah.
I saw something. I didn't follow it super closely, but
I don't know the ins and outs, but I had.
yeah, I didn't get the impression from that buyout. Yeah, Excess Power. I didn't get the impression from that buyout or from that deal that the quality or the brand direction was going to change much, because I know that Jacob is still having a first hand in R&D. I think what it was, I think that Jacob maybe just wanted to get out of the admin side of running a company, and wanted to spend more of his energy and focus on actually doing experimentation and R&D with all of the drivers. And he's doing God's work with R&D and innovation in actual drivers. Yeah, I've made it quite clear in the past that I don't necessarily think Sundown amplifiers are good value for what they are, because Jacob doesn't design, he's not a circuit design engineer. He is great at designing fantastically performing loudspeaker drivers and subwoofers, and so therefore that kind of experience and that knowledge shines through in his products, in his subs and stuff. But obviously when you've got a brand like Sundown offering the kind of subs that you are, you've really got to offer amplifiers as well to offer a whole package, you know. So people will want to run all Sundown, so you got to offer amps as well.
Yeah, but the Salt series is expensive.
The Salt series is mega expensive, and I do respect Jacob for, because he, you know, when he's had those amps made, he has gone to the factory and he's pulled out all the stops in having basically those amps built to the highest quality that those factories can, and you know, basically fitted them out with all the bells and whistles as much as he can. At the end of the day, they are still a generic circuit design, but they are the best of the generic circuit designs that you can get in terms of build quality and features. So if you do have the money to spend on the Sundown Salt series, then, you know, and you want that certain power and you like the brand and stuff and you want to support them, then fair enough. But I will still always stand by the fact that you can get the exact same immediate experience and power and results and stuff for a tiny fraction of the price from other brands. DLS is located in Sweden. Good to know. Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't know exactly where they were located, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like DS18. They do some.
Oh, DS18. It's really funny actually. I'll tell you a little story about when DS18 tried to introduce himself into the UK market. They actually approached Gavin at Audio Boffins to be like sole UK distributor, and one of the marketers for DS18 hopped onto all the UK Facebook forums, like the group, you know, the groups and whatever, and was bigging up with a big chat about DS18, about how it was going to come into the UK market, wipe the floor with every other brand, like perform the best that the UK's ever seen, this, that, the other, making a big chat about everything, and no one took him seriously. Everyone was just like, who's this guy? And then we took a look at the DS18 like product catalogue, and it was literally all AliExpress, Alibaba rebranded stuff, subs and stuff, and so everyone was like, no thanks. And basically Gavin was like, nah, I'm not interested in, you know, distributing your stuff, because you've kind of made a bit of a fool of yourself, and you're trying to make it out to be something crazy, and that you're going to wipe the floor with everything else in the UK. And they're not. They didn't come into it respecting the UK market or respecting the other brands. And as someone that's coming into a market with a new brand, although you're going to want to compete with the other brands on the market, you have to respect the other brands on the market. You have to respect what they're doing and that they've got their own presence and stuff. So it was quite funny. I'm not sure who ended up taking up DS18 in the end, but I think we do have a DS18 now. I think you can buy it off Amazon. I'm not even sure actually. Where can you buy DS18 in the UK? Do you have any ideas?
I'm not even sure, you know. I mean, what's that? One starts with T. There's a distributor. Is it Tipson's?
Oh, okay, yeah. Thompson's, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thompson's, yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe Thompson's were doing it for a bit. Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
yeah.
I've done some work for them before. DS18.
But this was a while ago. So this story that I'm talking about, this was a while ago now, like many years ago. So it's very possible that their product lineup and R&D department has changed a fair bit. But what I remember from them when they appeared, it seemed like DS18 came out of nowhere with a catalogue full of hundreds of products, and you know that's always a red flag. If a company pops up out of nowhere with no prior reputation or R&D or anything like that, with like a catalogue full of hundreds of products, because you know that it's just all rebranded stuff coming from China. You know none of it's like stuff that they've done any R&D on. So it was a bit of a red flag, but I'm pretty sure I've seen some nice builds with DS18 in the meantime since then.
I've seen loads in the UK, to be fair.
Yeah?
I've seen quite a bit, yeah.
You know what I'd like to see a bit more of in the UK? Audio pipe subs that they brought out in recent times. I think in America are kind of like a budget go-to. I seem to keep seeing. I think they're probably a similar thing to like the in-phases and whereby they're probably made in the same kind of factory or whatever, and they're a very cheap cheaply made
I've
option,
seen them,
but they're
I've
built
seen-
quite well.
I've seen
So
them.
if anyone in the States can confirm that, our audio pipe kind of doing all right now in terms of, you know, value for money, what you get for what you pay? Do they perform all right for what they are? They certainly look nice. I actually really like how the new audio pipe subs look. I love the inverted dust cap look. I love the you know, clean bowl look of the subwoofer cone with a big surround as well. It looks really nice, I find. Yes, audio pipe. The BDC stuff is big here. Oh, it's good to know. Yeah, it's good to know. I don't know if there's a seller in the UK for audio pipe. I don't know if you can buy it off Amazon or anything. Have you ever seen anything pop up for audio pipe? No.
Not that I've seen.
No.
I must see the older stuff, really, to be honest.
Yeah. Big Jeff says DS18 was the first brand that took a chance on me when I started in my garage. Sweet. So you probably have, like, you know, a fond what's the word? Like a fond you know, feeling towards them, because, you know, they're the ones that sort of gave you the kick to get going with your content and with your you know.
That's the same thing with me and Enphase.
Yeah.
It's like,
So yeah.
they're the only ones that bothered with me, so I'm
Yeah.
fond of them. That's why I take the extra effort to promote them.
Yeah. No, for sure. DS18 has come a long way here in 10 years. 10 years, yeah. I'm trying to remember how many years ago it was now that they popped up in the UK trying to chat all this stuff. I don't think it was 10 years ago.
10 years
it
ago,
might
it
be.
wasn't about like that.
No.
It wasn't about like that.
I'm trying to think, maybe it was 10 years ago. What might I for? Nah, maybe it wasn't 10. It might have been like 7 or 8 years ago, I think, maybe. Yeah, Big Jeff says it was cookie cutter back then. DS18 has made so much more new products in the last few years. I'll agree, before it was cookie cutter, yeah. Oh, interesting. Well, to be fair, I haven't really given them much attention in recent times, so I'll check out. I'll tell you, actually, no, you tell you what, I think I've had some experience with their later amplifiers, because I think they have a range of amplifiers which are the same as like the Sundown SFBs and stuff, like the Sound Digital clones. So I think I've done a couple of repairs on those, which obviously I don't rate those super highly, but you know, it is what it is. Those amplifiers are very, very good value for money for the power they make, and if you get a good one from the factory that doesn't blow up within the first few weeks, then you've got a great deal. So I kind of have a love-hate relationship with them, because they are amazingly cheap for the power that they are. So it's kind of a no-brainer, especially where with a subwoofer application, I'll say it again, I always say this, the most important thing in subwoofer application is dynamic headroom. Having power, having excess power, more than what you need is so critical to have for a nice sounding and reliable setup. So yeah, when you can buy 5 kilowatts for the same price as most 1200 watt amplifiers, it's hard to not recommend the 5 kilowatt, even if it is a Chinese Sound Digital clone. I wish we had Ground Zero in the States. I don't know, I don't think you're missing out that much. I'm honestly not a massive fan of Ground Zero, to be honest.
And that Alibaba stuff, buying it cheap is a catch, because you have to buy like more than one. You can't. I don't think you can buy samples like that.
Oh, the Alibaba stuff. What
Yeah.
was that comment saying?
Is it wrong?
Oh, is it wrong to order a sub from Alibaba? They are super cheap.
There is a caveat to it though.
Yeah, I think that obviously with Alibaba, yeah, you think you have to buy minimum order quantity of like,
A few hundred.
yeah, maybe a few hundred, maybe like 50 or 100 or something. If you can convince a specific seller on Alibaba that you are a business, they might send you out some samples, or they might sell you some samples, like one piece for each model, for example. But yeah, I don't know for sure about that.
No, Alibaba stuff ain't bad. It's pretty much the majority of
It's Alibaba subs are going to be basically the same kind of builds and the same kind of qualities as what you're finding from your audio pipes and your in phases and your digital designs, red lines to an extent, and you know your some of the cheaper B2 subs as well, and that kind of thing. They're going to be the same kind of factories with the same kind of tooling equipment and, you know, material equipment and stuff like that. So there's nothing inherently wrong with them, provided they do what they claim to do.
Definitely, if you want to start your own company.
Oh yeah, if you want to start your own company, maybe you can. You know, if you want to get your toes wet a little bit with distribution car audio, then yeah. And I think that there's a lot to be said for being honest. So if you start an audio company and you start putting your brand logos on some Alibaba subs, I think there's a lot to be said for being honest about that and actually using that as part of your marketing, saying like, hey, you know, just put out, like, you're offering these subs, like, these subs, I haven't designed any of these subs, but these subs are crazy for the price. So you know, you can be like, you know, these aren't the most amazing R&D engineered subs that you're ever going to find, but for like 300 quid, you got a 3 kilowatt sub or whatever it is, and it's really good, and you can show it performing well. You can show it, you know, being abused in an install. You can show it free airing and stuff like that. If you can liaise with the Alibaba guys, get a good range of subs built to a quality that you're happy with at a price point that the customer's happy with. If you market it like that, then it's going to sell well. Yeah, you can even call it something silly like I'm pretty sure there's a brand in America called CAB, Car Audio Bargain. That was their mentality, was getting amplifiers made, cookie cutter amplifiers made, but with some small modifications here and there and a good build quality, so that they were a bargain for people, because they were tried and tested circuit designs that worked, but they weren't anything bespoke, but they worked and they were of a decent build quality, and they were sold off reasonably cheap. Have you repaired any Cactus Sounds? Not a brand we get over here in the UK, not that I've seen, unfortunately, so yeah, not really seen any Cactus Sound stuff, I'm afraid, buddy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have 18 power supply FETs fitted into our donor Taramps HD15K that has not seen power or anything in over 6 years. Moment of truth. We're about to send some pulses to our power supply FETs. We have the original rectifiers fitted, and the solder's a little bit janky on them. We'll obviously sort that out when it comes to it, if this all works. We have a fully rebuilt output section that I have no idea if it works or not. We're going to probably see some scary high rail voltages now that we have our power supply FETs fitted. These rail capacitors are 350 volt caps, which means that we're probably going to be seeing at least 300 volts in here. Yeah, because it's a single rail amplifier, so it doesn't use positive and negative rails. It uses a single positive rail voltage, and then at the speaker terminals we get half rail, so you'll get about 150 volts DC on the speaker terminals at all times. So you don't want to be touching the speaker wires while it's powered up. So yeah, let's give this a crack and see what happens. Obviously we haven't got any output FETs fitted, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think these amplifiers use the SI8244BB output drive architecture, and I think these do give pulses to the output FET pads when the FETs aren't fitted. So we're going to obviously check that and see what we get. So let's stick our oscilloscope probe in like the rail voltage side here, just to see that rail voltage start climbing up as we go. We might need to swap my oscilloscope probe for my times 100 probe, because I think we're going to run out of headroom on the scope with my times 10. But yeah, let's just see what happens. So we got no parasitic current draw, good. So I'm going to hit the remote now, and we should see our rail voltage start to climb up a little bit here, perhaps. Let's just knock that up a little bit there. Yep, there we go. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of rail voltage building here. It's building quite fast. We're already at 109 volts, but we're not even halfway there yet. Where's my safety goggles?
You got 2 pairs.
You know, I haven't seen them for a couple of days still. I have to do the safety squint.
No, I just sit back.
Just sit back, yeah. Okay, we seem to be, I think we're in a bit of a state where it doesn't seem too happy. Let's just have a check. So we've tapped out with, we've got a solid red LED on the amplifier right now, which I don't think means low input voltage from the battery. We've got 132 volts on the rail, and I don't think I'm actually able to go any higher than that. We've got 136. It doesn't seem to be rising as strong as it was earlier, so I think that it's actually, I think that this is actually a slight different fault mode here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ground out that rail voltage, that 132 volts, and I'm going to start again from 0 just to see how it changes its behavior, because I think that it's not happy about something. So let's go to there. Let's ground that out. We might get a bit of a spark here. Oh, not too bad. A little one. Sometimes you get a big spark. Okay, so let's start again from 0, and let's just check the speed at which this climbs. It should continue climbing up, so we get a pretty fast climb there, all the way up to, we've got 119 there. Then we get a solid red LED on there. But I'm actually just curious to see what do we get if we limit the current and slowly build it. I want to see if it flashes the orange or anything like that. There we go, so that's discharged. So I'm going to limit the current considerably now to about 2 amps, so it won't build that much rail voltage. So we've only built, so yeah, now we get a flashing red. Okay, so when it's detected that there's not enough current or voltage available, we get a flashing red LED, which is just here. It's flashing red, okay? Whereas the fault that we get when the rail's all the way up at like 130 volts is a solid red, so it's not happy about something. Let's check the voltage on the speaker terminals here. Do we have any DC offset on the speaker terminals? No, we don't have any offset on DCs on the speaker terminals there. Let's check to see whether our auxiliary rails are being built. So our auxiliary rails are being built by these 2 transistors in the middle of the board here. So if I probe the outputs of those, let's see whether we get plus minus 15 volts built here. So we've got, okay, we're not getting our 15 volts there, but to be fair, that's because we're not actually getting enough pulses through from the power supply. So we're getting a maximum of about, was that you just clicking then? Okay, cool. That's the kind of sound of something sparking there. We're getting about 6 volts there on that one, and how about on this one? Okay, we're getting about 8 volts on there, so I think that's probably fine. I don't think that's our issue, that we're not getting enough auxiliary supply voltage there. Although, yeah, about 7 volts. So I don't think that's our issue. Let's have a look and see whether we're getting sort of 12 volts on this one maybe. Okay, that seems to be working okay, and then over here as well. I'm going to increase the voltage on the power supply from 10 volts to 11 volts, just in case it's not happy about the voltage in there. No, so it's basically straight to protect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the thermal imaging camera just to see if anything is getting a little hot anywhere. Not sure if it would be, but maybe it is. Okay, we've got a little bit of heat over here actually. Oh wow! Come see this. So, see this output drive IC?
Oh yeah.
Instantly, it gets toasty very, very fast. Guys, you can see that on the screen there. So it's over here now. Moved it. Yeah, that is a problem. And that's interesting because I'm pretty sure those drive ICs were brand new. It only seems to be that top one over here that's getting hot when I apply the remote there. This other one down here is chilling. Okay, well, I guess what we need to do now is to remove this drive IC, which is really strange because I'm pretty sure that was a new chip. We've also got a big hotspot on the board somewhere over here. Let's get some isopropyl alcohol spray just to see if we can pinpoint where that is. Safe. Okay, not the op amp getting hot there. Maybe it's one of the surface mount resistors, and it could be getting hot because of the drive IC over here getting hot. But yeah, interesting. Got a pretty big hot spot on the board right over here. It seems to be just coming from the PCB rather than any component, but okay, we'll investigate that in a bit, but the first thing that we need to do is remove this drive IC, which is weird, because yeah, I did think that was brand new. No worries. What I might do is I might remove it, leave it out, power the amplifier up just to see if it comes out protect. Did that, yeah, let's get rid of the low voltage. Let's end this poll. So this poll ended with only amps 50%, Sam's guide 33, and NS3 Amplifier guide 17. Henrik says, I work on battery-powered mining loaders with a nominal voltage of 750 volts DC. That's insane. I've been working on an EV, electric street sweeper, that's 450 volts DC with high current behind it, and that's scary enough. How's the live doing? We have 84 viewers. That's a little bit low actually. Sometimes we're up at like 110. But yeah, how are you finding your first beverage live?
Yeah, it's good. It's good, definitely.
Is it a different experience to watching it at home?
Way different.
Yeah.
I'll get used to it.
Yeah, it's a good vibe. It's a cool
I've gone
vibe.
from being hella anonymous to...
Yeah. What time do you think we should stream till? It's half 10 now, isn't it?
I'm about. You know what I mean? Whenever you want to stop, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool to like chill out for a bit, play some video games, show you some VR, maybe. I know we've got some time tomorrow, but have some hot chocolate and that.
Yeah, the hot chocolate's not going to be cheap, bro.
Have a listen to the Electrostats on loud, maybe, and whatever. Yeah, maybe we'll lock it off at like, I don't know, 10:45, like about 15 minutes time or something like that, or maybe 11 or whatever.
It's up to you, bro.
Yeah. At what voltage does DC become dangerous? That's actually a very loaded question, Anders. What do you reckon? Actually, I'm going to ask you the age-old question. What kills you? What is more dangerous and what kills you? Is it voltage or is it current?
I'd probably say the current, bro.
You probably say the current.
But that's just me. Could be wrong.
Oh, cool. There's no correct answer, by the way.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's a bit of a trick question.
Is it a combo between them?
It's what it is. The thing that kills you, the thing that's dangerous. Now, basically you as a person, as a human, you are a resistor, right? And everyone, me, you, depending on your build, your amount of fluid in your body, your makeup, your DNA, everyone will have a different resistance. Their body will be a different resistance. Some people's body resistance will be higher, some people's body resistance will be lower. Now, there is a agreed on value of the amount of current that can pass across your heart before it becomes dangerous, where it can damage your heart, it can stop your heart. It's a few milliamps. It's not very much. But amps don't exist as a thing by themselves. You can't push amps through something. Amps are a result of voltage flowing through a resistance. You have a voltage, which is a pressure. You push that voltage through something that has a resistance, and you get amps drawn through that component or that resistor. So basically, in order for electricity to be dangerous to you, the voltage has to be high enough that it overcomes your body's resistance and passes the dangerous amount of current. And for everyone, that will be different.
Yeah.
So for one person, it might be as low as 60 volts until across their heart it's like passing enough current that it's dangerous for them. Another person might be like 180 volts before it's dangerous enough for it to be passing enough current through there. And it will change depending on the time of day, how hydrated you are, all sorts of different things like that. So essentially, the answer that I usually say to that question is the thing that is dangerous is the voltage, because it's the voltage that's required to then produce a current across your body that's high enough to cause damage. And the reason that some people argue that voltage isn't dangerous is because you can have these contraptions that will be like 100,000 volts. Like plasma balls and like them weird science machines where you put your hand on it and your hair sticks something in. Those things are thousands and thousands of volts. But the current is very low, so therefore people say it's the current that kills you. But the voltage that you read on those things, right, if you pass that across your body, it's not actually 100,000 volts. It's much less than that, because there's no current behind it. The voltage drops. So although you're touching something that's at 100,000 volts, the voltage drop across your body, it's there is no the actual. So what is it? Is it? There's no current behind it, so therefore the voltage drops super low. It's a bit like if you got like a 10k amp on your stock electrical system, yeah, you'd think you got 12 volts there, but your amp is 10k, so you're trying to draw 10k, so it's trying to draw all this current because the amp's resistance that it presents to your electrical system is low, so therefore the voltage then drops to 8 volts. So it's not 12 volts anymore, it's 8 volts. Same thing happens if you've got a high voltage contraption that can't actually supply any current. As soon as you touch it and you touch ground on the other side, so if you touch a radiator and you touch one of those machines that generates 100,000 volts, then the 100,000 volts instantly drops to like a few millivolts, because it can't sustain the 100,000 volts. If it could sustain the 100,000 volts, then yeah, you're dead instantly. Because it can't sustain 100,000 volts, it then isn't the 100,000 volts anymore. It's like 2 millivolts, which isn't dangerous. So therefore, it's the voltage that kills you. But the voltage obviously needs to have the substantial current behind it to actually drop that voltage across your body. What do you think about PS sound? Yes, freaking awesome. Yeah, Peter is an absolute freaking legend, man. The kind of builds he does and the knowledge he has, I look up to him. Yeah, absolutely.
What's
What
this?
PS sound? He is a SQ installer in the UK. Peter Steinbecker. He makes some. You should look at his Facebook page. The builds he does are like absolute artwork, man. It's fucking amazing. And they sound like incredible as well. He's like the #1 installer in the UK. Got to be absolutely ridiculous.
Have you heard the company in America called PSI Audio? Is it PSI?
PSI, yeah. They started off making Recos, didn't they?
No, not that one.
Oh.
The one that does most of the home audio stuff. Really like audiophile stuff. I think it's PS Audio.
Oh, I don't think I've heard it, you know.
This company. That logo, maybe. That logo.
No, never seen that. That's pretty cool.
They do a YouTube channel.
That's
It's pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alright, so we've removed the output drive IC that was getting toasty. You know what, I wonder whether I should just check some of these diodes here, just to make sure none of them have shorts. I'm sure they don't, I'm pretty sure I checked all this, but just to make sure. Hello.
It's the one, yeah. Guide name's called
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, okay. No, that's fine.
Big up his.
PS Audio, the guy's name is Paul. Oh, wicked. Yeah, I haven't actually ever seen it. Here's a 6, big up. Thank you for the 5, my man. Legendary. Appreciate you, buddy. Stuck on TDA 8954. Out leg was short internally to bootstrap leg, getting voltage on outputs and other pins after fitting a new chip. I've had this issue as well with TDA circuits where basically with those TDA chip amplifiers, everything's in the chip. So you should just be able to fit a new chip and it freaking works. I have had a couple of times where the surrounding resistors around the TDA chip that set the parameters of that chip's operation have been blown and burned. So all I can really suggest to you is check all of the surface mount resistors around the chip with cross-reference and with the other channels. If that doesn't work, if everything seems fine and the chip doesn't work, then you've got a faulty chip or a fake chip. Because a lot of these TDA chips, they're not available anymore, so you're probably buying them from UT Source, or what is it, U-Source? The Chinese place, or Amazon, eBay, AliExpress, something like that. You're probably buying them from some place like that, and they may not be genuine or functioning parts anyway, so that might be the issue you're running into. So yeah, let's power this up and see whether we are able to build a full rail now with that drive IC removed. So again, I need to do the safety squint. I'm going to drop down to 9 volts again for safety reasons. Okay, we're up. Oh yeah, we're up at much higher voltages now. We've got 140 volts there now. Let's continue. We've got 140. Okay, there we go. Got a bit of a pulse there. Let's continue. Okay, 160 volts. Let's just check our power supply drive. Okay, so we get full duty cycle on the power supply, so that should mean that we have full rail voltage built. We're at 100 and what's this? 163 volts. It seems a bit low. 170. I still don't think we should be in protect like we are. 160, 176. I'm going up to 10 volts here. We've got a solid red protect like we had before. I still feel like this should come on and stay on even without output FETs fitted. So I'm going to grab the thermal imager again. I'm going to just check to see what's getting on. So we do have a higher rail voltage now. Maybe both these output drive ICs are bad. I might remove both. We definitely do have a hot spot on the board over here. We're up at 40. Yeah, there's something getting toasty over here still. What is that? Is it this op amp over here? 50 degrees over here, something. 51 degrees. See these resistors here? Ooh, I can hear some noises.
It's a whining.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
What was that?
It's not even on anymore.
No.
I mean, to be fair, the amp's still cycling, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got the remote on. Interestingly enough, when the power supply FETs go full duty cycle, we actually get 9 amps, I think, on there.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. We get 9 amps. That's a bit high. I wonder whether these, I mean, this wouldn't be causing protect, but I wonder whether these power supply FETs are a little bit too slow. Because yeah, we get a jump to 9 amps as soon as they go full duty. Yeah, dead time, like I'm saying. So I'm just going to pause this. So I've just paused the oscilloscope on the maximum duty cycle that the MCU is supplying to these FETs. And we get 49.8%. That is horrendously close to 50% duty cycle, which is probably going to cause a bit of cross conduction, like Straight Up was saying. Yeah, and that only kicks in when the power supply FETs, the drive is going full duty. So the way to confirm whether that is actually the power supply FETs, but they're staying stone cold. I would have thought with the amount of 9 amp pulses that we've been giving them, they'd be getting a little toasty here, but they don't seem to be. I'm just going to keep doing this, and I'm just going to monitor the current draw. Yeah, okay. But they're not getting warm yet. Filter caps by the transformer. Well, these things, now these are the power supply filter caps, they're not going to be getting hot. We've got anything else getting hot? Something is sinking 9 amps somewhere. 9 amps is going somewhere, so that's got to be making some heat somewhere. The only thing that's hot I can see is this random hot spot in the middle of the board that doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere. We've got R122, which is a 4.7 something? 475 maybe? Yeah, that hotspot is definitely those little resistors. So we've got a couple of resistors in the board here. This is where that hotspot seems to be coming from. These two little surface mount resistors right in the middle of the board there. And I haven't repaired many of these amps, so I don't know off the top of my head what those do. So we can reverse, and we can go back and find out what they do. Because I don't think they should be getting that hot, to be fair. I think what I might do is I might assume that the other drive IC is a little bit unhappy as well, and remove that. I want to try and get this amplifier in a state where it's fully powered up with a blue light and not going into protect. Something is tripping the protect, yeah, I want to get it into a state where it's happy and not going into protect. And I think the protect circuit is actually around this area here, or like the output side shutdown circuit is somewhere around here. But what's going to be triggering the protect is going to be some signal on the MCU over here. So some signal on the MCU over here is going to be triggering the protect. I don't actually know what this is. What's this? AP? Does anybody know what this jumper header is on these amps? I have never looked into this before. Maybe that's a programmable thing? I don't know. Never looked into that before. Let's see though, is the Class C generation circuit actually generating pulses? It is. So we are getting pulses from the generation circuit to the output drive IC. You see that? On both of these banks. So that's promising. That's cool. Love to see that. Yeah, we're just not getting full operation. It's not staying on. And I can't remember on these amplifiers whether they need the output FETs fitted in order to stay on and oscillate, but yeah, I'm not happy about that 9 amps that we're seeing there. When this goes full duty, that's definitely not pleasant. I'm going to see whether there's any intense spikes or ringing. I'm currently probing the output of I'm currently probing the secondary output on the transformer to see whether we get any big ringing spikes there when this goes full duty. No, we get a little bump upwards actually. Look at this. I wish I could play this in slow motion. Look at this. When it activates, it kind of goes full duty, and then we get like we do get some spikes. So I actually think, straight up, that yeah, this MCU, it's the duty cycle is ending up way too high. I think it needs to finish off at like 47%, but it's finishing off at like 49.8, which is pretty much dead on 50% duty. It's super annoying. that you can't modify that because it's an MCU.
And what, they don't make the chips for these anymore?
Well, they do. Yeah, they program, but actually, you know what? I could actually probably message Taramps and say, hey, can you program me a HD15000 MCU with a lower final duty cycle? Yeah, they might actually do that for me because them guys are fucking awesome. They would probably do that. No other brand would do that. I can't think of a single other car audio brand that you could message and say, hey, can you program me this with the different parameters? No, no one's going to do that. Who's going to do that? I'm still a bit skeptical though whether that 9 amps is actually getting dumped into the power supply FETs, because I would have thought I would see some heat on them, but I'm not. There's nothing getting hot over here in the power supply section. Although, there might be one FET over here that's getting hot. It could be that I've either missed a gate resistor or something. Is it? No, it's not the FET. I was going to say there's one FET getting hot, but I don't think it's the FET. I think it's something else on the board that's getting hot. Let's just probe these 4R7s.
Yeah, he's right, it's jumping to 12 amps now.
It's jumping to 12 now, yeah. I think that's because I've turned the voltage up a little bit. Well, and also I've turned the current up a little bit as well. So if I turn the current up to like 22 amps, which is quite a lot. Let's see if it draws the full 22 amps. No, it just draws the 11s. If I reduce this down back now to like 9.4. Yes, now it's only drawing the 9. But yeah, if it was the power supply FETs, I would have thought that we'd be seeing some heat on them, but honestly I'm not. They're all staying dead stone cold here. There is actually one over here that's getting hot though still. So, something over here is getting hot. I don't think it doesn't seem to be a FET. It seems to be I don't know, like some part of the some other part of the surface mount board or something. Look, I don't know if I can show this because I haven't got my hat cam. Basically, where is it? Over here. I think it might be here. There's a big hot spot right here, and it's not. I don't think it's a FET because the FETs all feel stone cold. We're at 40 degrees on there. We've got 44 degrees now. So that's like 44 degrees, so I should be able to feel that. But it's not the FET, so it must be something else around here. Yeah, interesting. I can't feel anything. So I will do some investigations into that. Because I was hoping that we'd have this up and running this evening, not gonna lie. I was hoping that we'd have this done this evening, but no, more issues. No worries, nothing we can't sort out. It's either going to be different power supply FETs, because these ones are a bit too slow, or it's going to be a new MCU that has a lower final duty cycle, or it's going to be fix whatever's getting hot, because I can't see what it is that's getting hot. Something's getting hot over there, I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, you saw 12 amps there because I bumped it up to 12 volts. But yeah, guys, I hope this was enjoyable for you guys. I hope you had fun. I hope it was a good chat. Hope you enjoyed meeting my guy here, Sinewave 02. Having some chats with him, having a little hangout. I'm sorry that the stream has been a bit rubbish with the internet. I wonder if my internet has recovered. Let's have a look.
Probably has.
Yeah, actually, it is connected again now.
That 4G was holding stronger.
Yeah, we're tethering on Donnell's phone right now. But we were planning to actually look at a PA amplifier this evening as well, but this Taramps has ended up just taking long. It always does. Stuff always takes longer than you think. But thank you massively to anyone that sent money to me this evening. Like I say, you don't have to do that. Is6 sending the money. Adrian sending some next ridiculous money. Freaking crazy big donations going on. Matthew as well. Thank you very much for a 5, buddy. Appreciate you. And yeah, I hope you guys all had fun. I hope you learned something. I'm jelly that Sinewave has a blue name and I don't. What's the blue name? Is that moderator?
I don't know. I'm not even on there today, so how do you know?
I'm jelly that Sinewave 2 has a blue name and I don't. I think you're yeah, I think you're a mod. But I can make there be some more mods. That's cool. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Have a mod. Why not?
But yeah, no, it was great.
I'm sure you'll behave yourself. Straight up.
You're gonna get everyone.
Hey, there you go. Everyone's gonna be asking for mod now.
To be all mods in it.
No, I should just make everyone be mods, because then they'll all get a blue and they'll all get a little spanner by their name. That's like fixing stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we just get a whole live chat of mods. Now that'd be hectic. People would be deleting stuff left, right, centre.
Be like the one Discord server. No, but it's been great, man. It's good to.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. But yeah, we're gonna go have a nice hot chocolate now, cup of tea or hot chocolate. Listen, we're gonna go listen to my Martin Logan lecture stats and listen to some bass as well while we're at it. So hope you guys have a great rest of the day and a great weekend, because I probably won't be seeing you this weekend. Actually, hey, no, fuck it. Let's give Matthew mod privileges as well. Yeah, Matthew needs some mod privileges. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, next live might probably be next week, and we'll do some. Yeah, we'll do some more on this. I'll try and figure out what's going on with this bass 15, this Taramps 15K.
I'll join everyone in the chat.
Join everyone in the chat, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.